Let's go back to the early Kobe years. I don't think many don't remember he sat on the bench. He didn't play.
Right.
He had a rough early All-Star game. It was not easy for him early.
He averaged 7 points a game as a rookie, to your point. And I think the reason people elevated him so quickly, I got to be honest, and the NBA may not like me saying this, and this is probably not true, but my feeling was that they put him in the All-Star game before he really was ready. As you say, he wasn't starting for the NBA. And if you looked at the voting, he wasn't one of the starters until like the last week or so. And so I kind of felt like, you know what, they kind of put him in there.
Oh, they rushed him.
Right. And
that's not the way it works for Icon.
No,
we made him one before he was ready.
He was the first non-big man to come directly out of high school to the pros. It had been Moses Malone, Bill Willoughby, Daryl Dawkins, and then Kevin Garnett. And so that was part of what people want. They were rushing him. And then he won the dunk contest his second year.
Yes.
Following MJ, won it right there in Cleveland in front of the 50 greatest players of all time. And I think when he really solidified himself as a great player, and I think this followed him throughout his career with his clutch reputation, was in the 2000 finals. He was in his fourth year in the league, and game 4 of the NBA Finals, he had hurt his ankle. He missed game 3 of the finals, only played 8 minutes in game 2 because he injured the ankle in that game. Game 4, they're playing Indiana. It's a tight game. Shaq fouls out with like 3 minutes left, and the game is tight, and Kobe, at 21 years old, takes over. His 3 big shots, they win the game. They go up 3-1. The series is over.
And he's 21.
Yes, and that solidified, no matter how many game winners he may have missed after that, no matter how many times he passed the ball to Shaq for the big alley-oop when they beat Portland.
I was there.
In Game 7, right? Robert Horry, Derek Fisher hit some of the big shots for that Lakers championship team in that run. But Kobe, even if he may not have taken the big shot or may not have hit the big shot, he was solidified. He was a made man in terms of his reputation as a clutch player. Early on, that follows you because LeBron, no matter how many shots he may have hit, because early in his career he would pass it off, people say he doesn't want it, so it follows you.
Michael Jordan hit the big college shot at Carolina, so he came into the league with a reputation, this guy is clutch. Yep. LeBron statistically has been, but those early, those first impressions are very, very powerful. There's so much of Kobe. To me, one of the things, I got into this conversation the other day, and we were talking about Zion. And I said, Zion feels like to me he could be Dr. J. I don't think, and Kobe's got some of this. Kobe had referenced Dr. J. Dr. J averaged 25 a game and 8 rebounds. Flaws in his game. But there was a style and a cool to Dr. J. Michael Jordan was relentless. Kobe felt to me always like he was the artist in the league. Like he could mimic some of Michael's, but his game was more fluid. That's why I think he was held in not just his points, but like a Dr. J, there is an iconic nature to his being, his style. Kobe had style.
Yes.
Kobe was cool.
I totally agree with you. And I think Jordan's game was graceful and pretty, but that is part of Kobe's attraction. His game, not to keep bringing up LeBron, but he's compared to LeBron. His game is prettier than LeBron's.
Yes.
Okay?
Much more.
LeBron's a Mack truck.
Right.
Kobe is graceful. His dunks. I think Kobe's one of the greatest game dunkers ever. People don't put him in that category, but he has some game dunks that are fabulous, powerful, and graceful at the same time. He's what most people have said, the best tough shot maker we've ever seen.
Yeah, by far, the best tough shot maker of all time.
So your game being pretty and graceful, that's part of what made him an icon, is people love the way he looks. When he makes a move, it looks great. It's like Michael Jackson. I might be able to mimic some of his moves, but it's not going to look as good as when Michael Jackson does it because of the way his body moves and his grace. That's how it is with Kobe. He can do the same move as another player, and it's going to look better when Kobe does it.
You know, if you look, what is fascinating about basketball, think about Kareem, Wilt, Magic, Shaq, and Kobe. So Wilt was the ultimate playboy. He loved Los Angeles. Kareem was aloof,
Right.
almost at times embarrassed by his size, prickly at times.
Right.
Here comes Magic, totally embraced Los Angeles. I want to live amongst the stars. Kobe, I'm going to go live in Orange County. I will dabble in it, but this is a basketball life. And then LeBron, from that, comes in more like Magic, end of his career. That Kobe, to me, there were elements of Kobe that were like Kareem in that he was really bright and very introspective.
Good point.
Kobe made a choice, Chris, to not live in Beverly Hills or Bel Air. And I think, I mean, just your thoughts on that. It's really interesting that Kobe chose to keep L.A.
Right,
at bay until the end. Do you
I
ever
think that's
about that?
a great point. That's a great comparison to Kareem because Kareem, as you said, highly intelligent but aloof. I think that hurt Kareem in his post-NBA career.
And I think it hurt Kobe in his early career.
That's the thing. Remember, Kobe grew up, and I think you said this earlier, right before our eyes, from 17 to 37 and maybe even 40 years old. He grew up in front of us. So we watched him. And I remember approaching Kobe early in his career, and there was like a little social awkwardness.
Sure.
And maybe a little aloofness or whatever. And then midway through his career, as he got more comfortable in his own skin, as he matured like the rest of us do, except we don't have to do it in front of the spotlight, you could see him get more and more comfortable with the media, more and more comfortable making comments and things like that. So he just matured and grew. Kareem, we never really saw that.
Yeah.
But Kobe did do it. And the thing that I actually think is going to be a big part of Kobe's legacy, as great as it was physically on the court, I think mentally,
yes,
it is just as powerful, if not more. And the thing I take from him is whatever you do, whatever he did it to be the best. He didn't half step on anything. He didn't do anything to be mediocre. He didn't do anything because, hey, I'm Kobe Bryant, I can do it, it'll make money. If his heart wasn't in it, he didn't do it. So when he played basketball, it was all basketball. He wasn't in movies and doing things like that. He was focused on basketball. Now, he did rap, but for the most part, it was straight basketball.
Yeah.
Then once he moved on,
he took the
he was
obsessiveness,
done.
and then he took that obsessiveness to other areas.
Yes.
Coaching his daughter,
Yep.
kids basketball, his short documentary.
And that's why he could excel in everything he did. He excelled because he focused on that thing. So when he left the league, like you said, he coached his daughter, he did the details, but he didn't have to be on every TV show broadcasting and commenting on the game. He could have easily. He wasn't at many Laker games because he's with his family. So I think people can learn from that, and a part of his legacy is whatever you do, go full bore at that thing.
Go all in or you're in the way.
Yep.
And that was Kobe. Chris Broussard is joining us. It is great to have you here. Joy Taylor as well. We are in Miami Beach, one of our favorite places, one of the most beautiful places in the world. So as we go in and out of breaks for the next week, we'll be giving you these vistas and these views. I just want to show people who are dropping in. We are not working for the Chamber of Commerce, although it will feel like that. And we're so happy to be here and treated so well.
People are getting jealous.
Listen, I'm
You're
jealous.
making
I
people
could
mad.
be in the beach in 2 hours. Chris Broussard joining us on the passing of Kobe Bryant and Gianna, his daughter, and others in a tragic event yesterday. One of the things, it's so sudden and it's so painful. And I use Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Kobe Bryant. They're taken too early. And we have all these moments and markers in life where we connected with them. So it's okay to cry. I got off a plane yesterday and from Atlanta, and I had a text from friends, and I went and found my next gate. I went in the back of a restaurant and wept. I had to be by myself. Then I got on my plane and I sat down, and I was sitting where in the aisle, so people were walking past me, and I'm like, they're going to know who I am. I'm crying, closed my eyes, and I thought to myself, get it together. And I thought, no,
let it out.
This was 20 years of being in this guy's galaxy. When you heard yesterday for the very first time, if I may, your initial thoughts, the first to reach out to you, and the reactions from your encyclopedia and your Rolodex.
Right.
Just take me to the first 4 to 5 minutes of it.
Well, I was actually in the air myself. I was flying. I was on my way here through Chicago. So I was about to land in Chicago. 15, 20 minutes before we landed, I started getting phone calls. The same person or people calling me several times. I'm going, what's going on? And then I get a text that just says OMG from a good friend. OMG. And I'm like, I text back a question mark, and they said Kobe died. And I'm thinking, it can't be Kobe Bryant. I know of no other Kobe, but it can't be Kobe Bryant.
Right.
And then I text Kobe Bryant question mark, and they said, the helicopter and all that. And I mean, I almost cried myself. I mean, I was distraught, and I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was like a punch to the gut. And even to this moment, when I really think of the finality of it, that Kobe's not coming back, I feel that same feeling in my gut, And so then, you start texting with people around the league, related to the league, and everybody has the same reaction. They're devastated. They can't believe it. Is it true? And,
Chris, let me throw this, Chris, if I may. We were talking about this earlier, is that as many great players as the NBA has had, and I'm old enough that I remember watching the Lakers in '72 with Gail Goodrich, Jerry West, and Wilt, the Bill Sharman coach team. I'm aging myself. Millennials, I'm kind of old. There's been about 7 to 8 players who have really crafted the image of the league. I think Dr. J is one.
No doubt.
I think it's a very short list. I think it's Magic and Bird. I think it's Michael. I think it's Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, and Steph because of the three-point shot.
Right.
I have a very small list of people that when I think of the NBA and its style and its coolness and its relatability to young people, Kobe's like one of 8 to me. Am I short? Dr. J is the first person that made basketball, to me, I would go out and mimic him in the yard.
Right, made it cool.
He was the first guy, and there was a guy before him named Spencer Haywood, I'm going way too far back, that had some of the same qualities. But I think Kobe's in that class.
No, I agree, because to this generation, he is their Michael.
Yes.
Now, whether you think LeBron's better, whatever, Kobe's the guy they look at because, as we said, the grace, the beauty of his game. And we can't belittle this. He won 5 rings. That's one reason we say Jordan's the GOAT is he won 6. Who knows when the next time we'll see a guy win 5 rings.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.